Hello and welcome to Emerald Creations Crafting with Gina. This afternoon I want to share with you a project that I have come up with and I think it's going to work for me, so I was very excited and wanted to share it with you. Coming up with our new catalogue, I was amazed at the amount of gems and jewels that we have to our use. And I've always felt in the past when I've been storing my gems and my jewels, it's been very difficult to have them to hand and be able to see easily what you've got for whatever projects you've made. So I have come up with the box that has been around for a few years. I believe Sam Hammond has used it or made it, but I have made this to my measurements for the bags that I'm using. Now, the bags that I'm using are retired Stampin' Up! Clear envelopes. Now, I know you're going to say, well, how am I going to get my hands on those? But if you have other clear bags that you want to use, clear pockets that you want to use, I'm going to show you how you can work out your measurements quite easily. And believe you me, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I really don't have a very mathematical mind, but this is really quite simple. So my main aim was to be able to store them so that I can reach for them easily and I can see what is in the packets. So I've used the clear bags, but I've also used my little printing machine here. If you don't have these, what I would suggest, if you don't have one of the printing machines, what I would suggest is you just take a measure of white card and write down what the jewels are. I've sort of taken the plastic off this, and I've put the strip along the top of the pocket here, and then I folded it over so it sort of gives it a little bit more protection. And I've decided I'm going to store them in alphabetical order, so it should be easier to see. So just taking one out, let me see, I've got some new gems in here, the pastel pearls. So as you can see, I've kept them on the strip, and when they come in the packets, they have a little bit of adhesive on the back of it to keep it to the cardboard, and I've just used a little powder buddy, a dusting buddy, and sort of rubbed it on the back of the sticky, and then it's not going to stick to your clear plastic bag. But as you can see, I think this is going to work for me, and I just wanted to share it with you. So I will show you how I have made the box using what you can do to make your using your bags. So my bag measures 11.5 centimeters. Well, almost 11.5 centimeters, not quite 11.5 centimeters, or it is almost 4.5 inches wide. So that's the main body of my card that I wanted to use. So I've worked out both centimeters and I've worked out inches as well for those who work in inches and centimeters. So this is my centimeters measurements. So the measurements are 28 centimeters by 17.5. Okay, or if it's in inches, it's 11.25 inches by 7 inches. 11.25 inches by 7 inches wide. Okay, so I'm just going to do this now and score with my trimmer, and so I'm going to score at 3 centimeters on both sides. So in inches, that is 1.25 inches on each side. Okay, so depending on your measurements of your bag, if you want your box to be the same width as mine, which is ample for, and as you can see, I've got quite a few embellishments or gems and jewels in there. This is 1.25 inches wide. If you want to make it a little bit more wider, you go to 1.5, say. Then measure your bag and make sure you have it wide enough for your box, and then you do the same measurement. Make sure you have the 1.25, or if you're going to do 1.5 on this side, make sure the two sides are equal. Okay, and then I wanted the back of my box to be 15 centimeters high, and I'm going to score there. Okay, and again, depends on the height of your bag. Measure the height of your pocket that you're going to use, and then move this, and you want the base to be the same as your side measurements. So I have measured 3 centimeters in, so I'm going to measure 3 centimeters here for the base of my box. So that is really what is important, is that your two sides and your base are equal measurements. And then that leaves this for the front of my box. So along the 28 centimeters side, so that's along here, I've scored at 15 and 18. Okay, and if you're doing it in inches, there along the 11.25, score at 6 and 7.25. Okay, and then if you want to do it this way, then along the 7 inches wide, you do measure it's 1.25 and 5 3/4. Okay, so simple. Okay, and then I'm going to take this away now. What you need to do is you need to cut in up to the first score line, like so. Like that. And just want to take a little wedge off on either side of this. Okay, I have been busy trying to organize my craft room and ready for the launch of the new catalogue, and trying to think of ways that would make it work better, because I really don't have an awful lot of room in my craft room, and it's always a mess, and I can never find anything when I'm looking for it. So I decided this catalogue, it's like a new year resolution, new catalogue resolution, and I'm going to be neat and tidy. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put things back where they belong when I'm finished with them. Well, we'll see how long that lasts. So I've scored all my score lines. Not yet. Do this one. And do that. So make sure that you have them all scored neatly or crisply with your bone folder. And then what we want to do is we're going to build the box. Okay, so that's basically how we're going to do it. But first of all, you want to get this slant. So because this back is 15 centimeters and the front is 10 centimeters, I want to cut down 5 centimeters. And I'm going to get a pencil. And I'm going to score down 5 centimeters. Okay, there. And to there. Okay. And I will bring in my trimmer. And what I'm going to do is put this score line on the track and line up the little pencil mark that I've done, and that will give me the slant that I want. Like so. And again, the slant is up, the score line is on this track, and a little pencil mark that I've made is here. And I'm just going to cut that off. So that's my wedges. Okay. Now, so because it's a box, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm going to just make sure that it's ready to go. And do both these first of all. And actually, I might just do this while I'm down. Actually, I'm going to go for tape. You could use the multi-purpose glue if you want, but I always find that having tape for a 3D item makes it a little bit more secure. I've just run out of seal there, so I'm just going to bring the corner, the edge to the on that side, and again on this side, and then making sure that it is nice and okay, and bring this around as well. Oops, not really, but there we go. And that's my box made. Okay, now for my measurements for my layering, matting and layering, I've just decorated the front of my box with the beautiful pierced blooms. They're a firm favourite of mine, and any excuse to use them is what's happening at the minute. As you can see, they're just, well, I thought these were like little eggs, these little daisies, and I've just put some little yellow, what are they called? See, I can just lift this out, playing with patterns, and it's the little yellow dots for them from the playing with patterns gems. Use some jewels, and I've used these from the Elegant Faceted Gems. You see, and what I also intend to do as well is to put the code in at the bottom of the bags. Now, because it's the just matting and layering, I'm just going to use some tape, or not tape, wet glue. So I am going to just mat or layer these together before, and build up my arrangement on it. Oops, before I put it onto the box. Okay, and here are my little pot of pre-cut. So I'm starting off with the first one. I'm going to bring this in so you can see it. So this is the biggest flower, so I'll start off with that first of all, and I'm just going to put a dimensional behind it, and then that means that I can stick my leaves in behind it. There we go. Okay, and then the next one is a bigger leaf, and I'm just going to put a little dot of glue on each leaf, and I'm just going to put the stem, tuck the stem in behind it, There we go. And then next one is this little blue one. I'm just going to tuck it slightly in underneath it like so. So with these little petals, what I did was I sort of squeeze them together. So they're not like that, but they're pressed together like that. You can do it once you have put it on your card. I'm just going to stick it in like that. Actually, I think I'll bring that down. Like so. And I'm just going to put this little yellow one on directly. So a little bit of yellow, a bit of glue. Here's a sticky now. And I'll do these with the green leaves as well. Okay, and then I'm just going to add 2 directly, and then I'll put one little one with a dimensional behind it there. And I did think these little ones were like eggs when I put them on first of all. And mini dimensional to put this on the back of this flower here. They do fit like so. Just gives it a little bit of interest. There. Okay, so you can see how by adding the gems then and the jewels makes the difference to your project. So out comes my playing with patterns, and I'm just going to use my tool to scoop these up and put them on. Like so. Okay, pop them back in, and there we go. Now I did want to show you how I made the little pockets. So here's my jewels. Okay, so these come off, they're sticky backed labels. I love labeling everything. It makes life much more easier. And I don't know whether you can see, but this is where my pocket opens here. So I'm just going to put this along the top of my pocket, like so, so it's not closed. And then I'm taking off the sticky pad. I'm just going to fold it over, and it just keeps the label clean. Like that. Okay. And then that's where it's not very tidy looking, is it? Let me do it properly. Now, stick it in like that. That's better. And then I can use that. So I'm going to use some big ones for the center of my, like that, and some slightly smaller ones. There. One more. I don't think I need any more. No, I'm happy enough with that. And pop those back in my pocket. And stick them in, and then last but not least, little white ones for the center of my yellow flowers. There. Now, and if you have any that scoot off, it's quite handy just to pop them inside your clear envelope. So that's that. Now for just adding. And there we go. So as you can see, I've made this quite easily. Just move it over to the centre a wee bit, make sure it's square. But you can decorate this whatever way you want. You can stamp on it if you want to. As I said, I'm a firm favourite of the pierced blooms, so that's the reason why I have used that. Okay then, so I hope you've enjoyed the project. The measurements, I hope you took a screenshot of them as I was talking you through. But as I said, this main part of the body is the bit that you want to be the width of your plastic bag. The width, the depth of it is depending on how deep you want your bag or your box to be. But I reckon about 1/4 inch is quite enough for any of your embellishments. And I have to say that I only have the ones that are using. If you have a spare one, I'm not putting it in until I make sure that these are actually empty. So again, no waste. Speaking with you today, I hope you've enjoyed the project, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.